tip of my tongue, but I will let you propose. If you want me, come and get me. I am the ground beneath your toes. The moon is falling, your heart is racing, and you said...
What time is it over there? You're over in Pennsylvania? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Heart of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Did you grow up there?
No, I'm from a suburb of DC. I went to school at a university that I live right now, like right next to.
Cool. That's
so
fun.
I like the area though. It's there's a lot of cool stuff going on. It used to be like a steel town, and then the steel mill went out of business, and now there's like a lot of cool art where the steel used to be, and there's also like a lot of smaller companies who are like trying to fill the void.
How was the DIY scene out there?
I'm only like starting to get into it in the past year or two, so I'm like very fresh to it. But I feel like you probably met and or know Billy Mack Collector.
I've never met Billy, but I know of him.
Yeah. Well, he's from the area originally and opened up the coffee shop that's like in Allentown, which is like 20 minutes from my place. So he's doing a lot for the scene. Like, I really applaud him, and like he hosts shows there, and I'm going to be playing a show there on Thursday.
That's awesome.
And it's really great. As far as like house shows, basement shows, there's a good amount. There's a handful. It's kind of like there isn't much of a scene, though, is my understanding.
Yeah. What do you mean by scene, though? I mean, I feel like the definition of what a scene is or should be is very subjective.
Like, what should be a music scene?
Yeah,
like
what's your ideal idea? What's your ideal version of that?
I don't know. My ideal version of music scene is kind of a lot of like people in different bands, and like joint and like crossover projects. And like the most we got is there's like the same couple. Every once in a while, like people will play shows with each other a couple times in a row or something.
Yeah.
There's also like a weird mix of like there are people who try to do music DIY, and there's people who try to do music like not DIY.
Like to make money off of it, or as a business, or what do you mean by not DIY? Like they actually want to make a career out of it?
Yeah, they're trying to become like a career musician.
Okay.
Which is like, you can be a DIY career musician, but I don't know, to me like DIY is like a mindset of ownership of your own music, and like you would not want to be on a traditional label. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's all about your own self-promotion.
Would you prefer to play in a basement or in a bar?
Yeah, I think that's a really good definition.
That's actually really the best definition. Would you prefer to play in a basement or a bar? I'm like,
That's
I'd rather
great.
play in a basement.
Of course.
I don't know. There's a lot of good venues though, and there's a lot of really great people, and I've gotten to meet some really great musicians that are really stellar people. So
That's
I still
great.
feel like I'm very fresh to it and figuring it out.
That makes
where you're at?
I mean that makes me happy to hear that. So California is just a wild orgy of nonsense. I mean, it's very locationally based. So like, I really loved the music scene where I grew up in a place called Temecula. That was my first taste of kind of like DIY culture and ethics. We had a space that I helped open up. I didn't really help open up, but I was around when it was first starting, and I was a musician who performed there a lot and brought people. And we had a space that it was called The Dial, and we actually had the first big Folklorama Fest there, which was a really fun show. A bunch of people who were on that first compilation actually came all the way out to California to play that show, which is really cool. It was me, Paper Ceiling, so Jesse, Elijah, who is a Human Kitten. I think he was Elijah in the Lions at the time. Who else was it? Sledding with Tigers, Moon Bandits. there was a whole bunch of people that were on those compilations that showed up at that show, and I thought it was just such a cool thing that I was able to put together, and that made me super happy. But that space was kind of like my foundation as far as like when I was like in high school. That was the place where I hung out, where, you know, we'd have shows every night. So, and it became a really big space too. Like, I played shows with Tiny Moving Parts there, and Modern Baseball, and like bands that are really big now. Like, it was a really big space. And now that place doesn't exist for one reason or another. It moved a few times. We've seen a few Parises. This is like the third or fourth. I know. So Paris is a weird Pokemon. I don't think I've ever used Parasect for literally anything. That would be a cool Mega to see next gen. I would really like to see a Mega Parasect.
That would be cool. Yeah. I ran a competitive Paris for a while. Very interesting. So,
competitive Paris? What tier was that?
The evolved form.
Parasect.
Whatever it's called. I don't know the names of anything. Like I said, I have no memory.
Like, I don't know what time it is. What time is it over in Pennsylvania?
It's like 1:30, but I'm on like a working man schedule, so like 1:30 is actually kind of late for me.
Okay. Well, if you're feeling like you need to go at any time, you let me know. I don't know how much longer this cave's gonna...
I'm at the point in my life where like I should be asleep now, but I'm gonna be up till like 2 or 3 because it's a Saturday night.
Okay, that's respectable. I have to be at a.
Like after this, I might see if one of my other friends is awake and wants to play music. But
that's cool.
My friend Will from the Great Plains.
So when are you gonna have that music out?
Well, we have an EP actually that I'm like really proud of. So you want to hear what it sounds like when I try to write pop music? Check out greatplain.bandcamp.com.
I'm totally gonna link that. That'll be something that we link in the description of this video. Whatever part this ends up being. I'm definitely thinking we'll do 2-hour-long installments of this. And we'll have to,
cool.
Yeah, that's probably how this will work.
Every Pokemon Tumblr.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, we can do that.
Has gotten like some followers. Like they got them like very fast and then stopped. Basically, like all the press I had for like a week. Like, the followers like now I have 500 followers. I'm like, whoa.
That's cool.
Like, stopped. I'm like, that makes sense.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was. Getting all that publicity was very weird and interesting because, like, it made me uncomfortable, but at the same time, I was like, this is exciting. And, like, it's like 15 minutes of fame sort of thing. It's like, oh, it's like doesn't happen that often to someone. And
I mean, I probably...
It's something, like, I'm proud of doing.
Yeah. I honestly would have been, like... The person I am, unfortunately, would have almost been upset that got more publicity than my individual music. Or my own artistic stuff that wasn't themed, maybe? I don't know.
I completely understand.
Do you know what I mean?
But I also, like, logically, I know, like, this project is, like, BuzzFeedable.
Yeah.
Like, the Song Purpose One project, it's like, people will be like, oh, that is, like, something, like, that's something that, it's an elevator pitch in and of itself. So I get it.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a good mindset to have. It's good that you had that. It sounds like you had that outlook from the get-go, that you knew that this was something that could get to that point. And it just, I mean, it says a lot about you as a human being, too. Yeah.
If it becomes the only thing that people know me for musically, like, there's some songs I'm really proud of in there.
I mean, you've put a ton of work into it. I don't, and no one can take that away from you, you know? What is this? I feel like I'm supposed to be able to go this way. That's an illusion. That is an optical illusion right there. Do you want to do me like a solid and see if there's a moonstone somewhere in here? There's got to be a moonstone in Mount Moon somewhere.
Oh yeah, let me check the internet.
We're gonna cheat right here. I think I need to heal up. Maybe I should use that escape rope. Let's just do that. Let's save some time. Alright, you have a rare candy? Where did I pick that up? I wonder what we were talking about when I found that.
Get a billion rare candy?
No. I'm not gonna cheat. I mean, we can use the internet as a resource, but we're not gonna cheat. I was thinking about doing the Mew glitch. That'd be cool. I wonder if that's in this ROM.
Yo, go to that truck.
Go to the truck.
Alright, there's a moonstone in 1S in the northwest corner of the map, and also on B2S on a white wall tile at the end of the path. I don't know which is 1S, to be honest. I don't read maps ever.
Man.
I think 1S is first floor.
1S is the first floor?
Yeah, so northwest corner of the map.
Oh, man. My brain's not working. Northwest is this way. But I was already up here.
No, northwest would be... Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I need to get some repels, man.
Hey, don't shit on Zubat.
I'm not shitting on Zubat.
It's just looking for friends. So the Zubat song in my project is actually I tried lyrically, really work on that one because I felt there's a lot to do.
Totally.
It's kind of written in the perspective of someone who might be like an abuser in a DIY space.
That's interesting.
And I didn't want it to be like the guy's a villain, but like it's like someone who like is well intentioned, and like hosts house shows, and like the person who's the protagonist in the game is like, he's like, hey, if you're coming into my house, like, I'm sorry that I'm upsetting to you, but what should I do? Like, help me out. And like it's I don't mean to like make it seem like oh, like you should be kind to abusers. I just thought it'd be a really interesting mindset to try to occupy.
No, that's I really actually like that.
Are still hanging out at their place.
That adds so much depth to that song, personally. I mean, I don't think I've listened to that one. I listened to about half of them, I think, until I.
It's 2 hours of music.
It's a lot of music.
The first 100 was 2 hours of music, almost on the dot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, don't be mad I haven't listened to the whole thing, but it is long. Yeah, there's some really cool interpretations of things on that record for sure. I like there's a few like almost like kind of shoegazy songs. You know what I mean?
I love shoegaze.
Like there's just some like really interesting mellow guitar riffs, and I'm just like, where does this come from? And I think there was one that didn't even like have lyrics to it, and it was just
There's like a handful that don't have lyrics.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that's really interesting. I'm really glad that is a direction you decided to choose. Because I think that is really an exercise in creativity right there. You really have to think about how the sounds and the pitches reflect what you're trying to express. And that is difficult. Yeah. That is really difficult. I mean, sure, you can sit around and be like, oh, well, I'm going to write a sad song today. And you could do that, and, you know, just through the melody, it could be sad, but expressing, like, something as complex as a Pokémon, I think, is pretty wild, pretty hard to do.
Yeah, well, I'm also inspired by the noise and the actual like. Here's a Pokemon.
Like
I'm
their
gonna
calls.
Write to this. I'm more like, oh, I found this really interesting noise. What Pokemon does this sound like?
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
A friend left a wah pedal at my house, and I'd like never played with a wah pedal before. So I like plugged in a guitar and had it permanently cocked, so it was like very fuzzy. And I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like coffee. Like it has that like it sounds like I'm playing in smog.
That's cool. And who did you use that for?
For coughing.
For coughing.
Yeah, I really started coughing. That's one of the instrumental ones where it's like I'm just playing in this really like smoggy thing with the wah pedal and like jamming. And then my friend Tyler roommate Tyler is playing bass, or not bass, drums. And then at the end we start coughing.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
But it was just a fun jam. It was like one of the most like. Sometimes I do jams, I'm like, that was good, or sometimes I'm like, that was bad. That was one of the ones that I was like, that was tight. Like, it just felt so good. So we play together a bunch, and it's like, sometimes it works, sometimes it's like not as good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, your roommate, or is it your roommate who did a bunch of work on it with you?
My roommate's the second most featured, and then my friend Will, who's Great Plain, is the most featured.
Cool. Yeah, I noticed that there were like one or two people that like just did a ton of work with you on it. I think that's really cool that you have friends that are just helping you out with it.
Well, you were saying that like you don't like playing music with other people. I really like playing music with other people, and I kind of think I use it in some ways as like a social crutch. Where I'm like, what do you talk about if you don't talk about like let's make a band together? Let's like if there's someone I'm like you're cool, I don't know how to like hang out and relax that well all the time. So I'm like, let's hang out and like work on a project. And if that project
I like that.
Song, it's like fun and low commitment for them because it's like, oh, it's not under my name. It's like I can do whatever I want.
I definitely need to do that more. That's something that I need to open up to. I think. Because I mean,
Well,
I like
it's tricky
working on
because
projects
you-
together. I've always
you
liked doing
release a
split
fair amount of
records.
music,
You know?
but not like an absurd amount. And you really craft everything. And I think it can help to have a project that it is your project, but you feel less stressful and ownership about, like some stupid side project or something.
Yeah.
Not to say that the Pokémon project is a stupid side project, but it has elements of that.
I don't know if stupid or side project are the right words for that. I would say it's definitely like its own thing. Like honestly, I don't think that.
Yeah.
I think that you definitely bring a very different kind of energy to that project than you do to your Chainsaw Arm stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's just my opinion. I actually
Well, thank
have.
you for flattering the-
I mean the first time what was he bringing out? I don't even remember. Let's just play it safe. So the first time I actually heard your music, I heard the song that you had on the Folkorama compilation, and I was like, oh, that's a cool song. I knew all of those songs word for word. All of the Folkorama compilation songs, because I listened to it so much. I thought it was such a cool thing. And so I probably still know all the words to someone who acts older than they should. And then I don't know how I got it. I had 3 or 4 copies of one of your records. I think it was
Until Then, another track.
Until Then is the one with the big red circle on it, right?
Huh?
It's the one with the big red circle on it, right?
Yeah. The
And I
concept
think
album at the end of the world.
and I think the tape had a picture of you and your friends on it or something. Right.
Yeah. It's the theme of that record is the world ending in kind of like a weird, pseudo-scientific, pseudo-mythical, biblical way.
Yeah.
And the moon turns red as part of it. Actually, the moonstone. Bam.
That was cool.
So all of the album art and stuff has like a red moon on it.
Beautiful. I really like that. I'm probably going to go back and listen to that again because I listened to that a few times. I actually have a copy of it on tape still. I definitely held on to one. I'm trying to remember.
Well, you listen to that, I'll listen to Critters.
Okay. Somebody, I don't remember who it was.
William Gibbons?
Yes, William Gibbons. Who is an amazing musician as well.
Love him.
William, I saw,
Shout
shout out.
out.
I remember when it was Akira Flip. I remember when it was just William doing Akira Flip stuff. I thought that was so cool. I remember the first time I saw William play. The first time I saw William play on his own, I was playing a house show in like City of Industry, it was this really sketchy house show with tons of super crusty people, and there were no like crusty punk bands. It was like me and Jesse from Paper Ceilings, and William played an Akira Flip set. It was a really weird night, but I remember he played 1,000 Free iPads, which is like a 9-minute song, and watching all of these super crusty kids in a garage silently sit for 8.5 minutes and listen to 1,000 Free iPads. I thought that was an amazing moment. I thought that was so cool. So, yeah, William, maybe you know this because he told you the story, but I saw him at a show. I think I played a show with him. Maybe it was probably within this last year, and he saw that I had one of your tapes because I always bring the tapes that I'm distering to all my shows, and he was like, "Oh, this is my friend Jacob. I have to buy one of these from you. Like, I need this. I really need this tape." And I was like, you know what? Take it. It's yours. Like, you're so enthusiastic about it. I love it. I love when people are really super stoked on the tapes that I have that are, like, my friends, the people that I support. Because that's generally the tapes that I started putting out tapes, like, oh, wow, Eradicate already. My freshman year of college, out of my dorm room, I bought a cassette duplicator and just started putting out tapes for bands. And, I tried to do them only for, like, I didn't try to do it, but I ended up doing them just mostly for my friends who also played, like, folky, punky-esque music. A lot of people who did, like, stuff on the, oh wow, this isn't going to be a good battle.
Oh no.
This is, unless I can sing them, I'm going to try that route. That might work. Yeah, so I ended up putting out a bunch of tapes for a bunch of friends, and that was super cool. And I'd bring them to all my shows and try to, like, promote my friends' music as well as my own. And that was really successful. That was fun. I didn't sell a whole lot of tapes online or anything. And I still try to put out music for friends sometimes. Like, I'm putting out one, hopefully this month. It's a project I've been working on forever with my friend Mitchell, who plays in a band called Cheap Haircuts. I don't know if you've heard his music before.
I've heard of them. I can't recall them off the top of my head.
They sound a lot like the Front Bottoms-esque kind of folk punk style. So more like poppy, like folk pop kind of. But they're really good. They put out a new album this year, and so he got in touch with me and was like, "Hey, I want to make some tapes." So like that's kind of the process I've always kind of done it. Kind of like how. Because I think, did you put it at tape with Driftwood when Driftwood was a thing?
Yeah, that's how I did it.
It was the same kind of thing. Whereas, like, you just get in touch and be like, hey, I want to put out a tape. And, like, I remember, because I put out a tape with Driftwood, too, once. I don't know if...
Oh, no, you whited out, blacked out.
Yeah, that's the first blackout of the game. At least I get to heal. At least I know where I'm going now. That's what matters.
I have a question, Nick.
What?
When I finish every song for every Pokémon, will you put out a 60 cassette compilation of all the songs?
A 60 set compilation? I will put out one copy of that 60 set, and then I'll give it to you. How about that?
Alright.
That would probably be the most time, because that would mean I have to listen to the whole thing, because you have to dub it in real time.
Yeah. Or you just leave the room.
Just leave the room. I'm actually going to go buy some repels real quick. I can't deal with this right now. I just want to get out of this.
I want to tell you about like William and I, because I think that was really interesting. Like,
yeah, I want to hear the story. I actually, speaking of 60 cassette tapes, I briefly talked to William about putting out the Kara's Walk Home record on tape, and we talked about how it would have to be like multiple tapes, and I really liked that idea because I'd never done one like that before.
That'd be awesome.
Because it's such a long record. Their songs are so long.
Cases.
Yeah, there's like those cool like double fold, like they look like VHS cases that sort of have cassette tapes in them. That'd be really cool. But we talked about it once and never really talked about it again, so probably not happening, but that would be still a cool idea.
So tell me the story. This, but William Gibbons is also like an amazing visual artist. I'm not
so talented, so talented. I actually have friends that I met in LA that just knew him just from just the animation. Yeah, just William's artwork.
So I was really into webcomics when I was in like middle school, early high school. And we both kind of trudged the same webcomics forum and used the same hosting site, which used to be called Drunk Duck. And I was like a big fan of his art, and like his friend who he lived with, and I think so. Their name is V, and they're now like I think playing bass in Kara's Walk Home.
Who is it? Who is it again?
Their name is V, like VI.
Okay.
I think they play bass in Kara's Walk Home. But
I know a few people in that band. I know God, I'm blanking on names, but I have faces in my head and I know these people well. Why am I doing this? Anyway, keep telling your story so I don't sound like an asshole.
But yeah, I was like a big fan of webcomics. I like commented on it for the strip. I was like, this is great, it's beautiful, great story, love it. And also V's work, I'm like, this is great, love it. And, like they continue to make amazing comics. And continue to make amazing artwork. he actually just ended a comic that was really inspiring to me. But it was a great ending, so I'm not sad. But then around the same time, I would say within a month or two of each other, we both kind of ended our webcomics, both William and I, and we're like, where do we play music now? And not we're stopping one to do the other, but this is our new focus, for our artistic endeavor, at least on the internet sphere. And his first band was a thing called Puddleton, which was much more folk punky.
Yes, I remember Puddleton.
Ukulele, which was and I was kind of folk punky.
I remember Puddleton.
Wow, we have really similar music stuff. And before he moved to LA, he used to be from the DC, Virginia, Maryland area.
Oh,
and I was
really?
as well. And we actually, V and I met at MagFest, which is a Comic-Con of sorts in Maryland. And we hung out for a day there, and it was a ton of fun. And we there's a bunch of jam spaces because it's a music and gaming festival. So we just played music together. We covered each other's songs together, and it was just it was amazing. I remember my first time meeting someone from the internet in person.
That's cool.
It was really good.
That's so wild. That's such a small world.
Yeah, right. And now
we independently know these people.
And now I'm watching you play Pokémon, and it's amazing.
It's a weird thing. I mean,
wow.
I honestly I think when I go online and I go on Facebook or any social media platform that I use to either promote my music or just talk to people on, I've noticed more recently that I am closer with people that I have never met before, rather than people that I am actually friends with in real life. The friends that I have in real life don't really have social media presence or internet presence, but I have really strong relationships with people that I've never met before, but I've just either worked with creatively online, or we have similar interests, or a plethora of things. I just think that's such a crazy thing. I never thought I'd be someone who would do something like that, but I've noticed that more and more as I get older, that I just have, maybe it's because of the folk punk stuff or the the music stuff, that I've been able to have these relationships. I mean, that definitely is how the reason I'm talking to you right now is just because of music projects that we've worked on, and just the people that we know and the projects that we've done and our interests, and I don't think this kind of conversation might not have happened otherwise. I think it's a wild thing. All right, let's beat this Raticate this time. Did you notice that while you were telling that story, I walked all the way to Pewter City, healed my Pokemon, walked back, and then realized that I didn't buy any repels? Only to walk.
Oh my gosh, I did not recall.
Only
Did
to
you
walk.
go to the Pokemon?
Only to walk all the way back. Actually go to the Pokemart the second time and realize that they don't sell repels yet.
You're really good at Pokemon.
I know. That was my major flump of this whole thing. Maybe I'll just skip this battle. Ooh, Clefairy.
I actually think I was watching a Let's Play and someone lost their Nuzlocke on that battle.
That's a hard battle. That Raticate is pretty tough. Should I catch this Clefairy? I'm already doing the whole Jigglypuff thing. I don't really want a Clefairy and a Jigglypuff.
What level is Jigglypuff?
9.
Toss up.
It's not happening.
Alright.
Fuck that dude. I'm not even gonna deal with that right now. It's a little too late to worry about that. So yeah, I mean, this has been a fun thing so far. I know that just for people that are actually, following this, if anyone does listen to 3 hours of Jacob and I talking, which I think that there are going to be people who will, definitely. I think that what we're talking about is definitely entertaining.
I mean, as someone who watches Pokemon Let's Plays on a near daily basis, I'm an objective viewer, and I think we're producing some pretty quality content.
I think so too. That's why I didn't want to do this on my own.
Let's Plays?
I mean, maybe a while ago.
Okay.
I don't follow any specific ones, but I've definitely watched some before for a little bit. I like the Nuzlocke and stuff. I think that's fun. Those are the entertaining ones for sure. But I think that this is cool. I mean, like I told you, I haven't spoken this aloud, the microphone yet, but I did about an hour playthrough of this, recording myself on my own, and the commentary was appalling. It was so boring. It was just like, I went back and listened to it, and I'm like, what am I talking about? Like, I literally have nothing to say at all. And it really made me appreciate the people that do this on their own.
It's hard.
For days and days at a time. It's really hard. It's harder than public speaking for me. Like, I like to think I'm a pretty good public speaker. I'm not generally a shy person. I just had nothing to say. I had nothing quality to say. And I'm just like, what do I talk about? I'm like, do I just, like, say what comes to mind? Is it okay if there's silence? Like, it was stressful. But I think this back and forth, this is way easier. This is way easier for sure.
Well, I also do radio shows every now and then, and I've done it without a host. It's so hard without a host, because you're talking to no one. And even if you have one person, and even theoretically, I feel like even if the person wasn't talking back, just like the fact that you're talking to another human, it makes life better.
Yeah.
And I'll say it just on Pokemon Let's Plays in general, I think that they're really great for like, for me, because like I'll be multitasking. Like I have so little free time, and I love Pokemon so much. I'll be like, if I'm cooking, I can watch a Pokemon Let's Play while I'm cooking, and it's like I don't actually have to touch it and like play the game.
That's true.
So I think Let's Plays are really cool, and Pokemon's really cool, and there's also like we're not just talking about Pokemon. The thing is, it's really interesting because there are people who care about Pokemon, and there are people who care about like the stupid music that we like and the music that we play.
Yeah.
And I'm curious what the overlap will be. And people are gonna be like, I love like half of this, and the other half was stupid.
Well, that's what's cool, is that there's going to be two audiences saying that. There's going to be the audience saying, oh, I like the music stuff, but the Pokemon stuff, I'm really not with it. And there's going to be the people that are like, oh, well, I really like the Pokemon stuff, but the music stuff makes no sense. I have no idea what you're talking about. But it might lead them to listening to some interesting stuff. You know, it's good promotions
one
too.
convert to Pokemon or one convert to like our stupid corner of music, then it's worth
That's
it.
a success right there. I think that's all it takes. And then there's going to be like that one person who actually knows the people that we talk about, and is like, going to enjoy that every second of this. They're going to be like, oh, they're talking about this person. I know who that is. I mean, I feel like we're having a lot of very like personal conversations that don't apply to a lot of people, but I think it's still interesting, because then people are going to be like, oh, these guys. I mean, the way that we're having this conversation is almost as if you and I have talked for a while. I feel like. I mean, are you on the same level? I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about this Pokemon Let's Play thing. Like I could see. I don't know, man, Jacob. I'm really happy with this conversation. I think it's going to a good place. We've hit a lot of really good topics. I'm really excited to I will definitely have you back to do this again. You know, maybe Cool Bird will even be a Pharaoh by then. Bulbasaur will definitely still be a Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur will still be Bulbasaur. Oh, how did I know there was a hidden item there? Got another Moonstone. Should we just evolve that? Should we evolve Ruthless right now?
I don't know if it learns moves differently.
I think it does. I think I should wait. I think maybe it might not learn Metronome or something. Ooh, I get the Fossil now too already.
Oh, that's so early.
I know.
What are you gonna pick? I'm very biased to one.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Are you a fan of Twitch Plays Pokemon?
I am, but that's
not the one.
To my bias.
Really? Well, I think Kabutops is way cooler, honestly.
Oh, I forgot that was one of them. I thought Aerodactyl was one of them.
No, you don't get Aerodactyl till Cinnabar Island, I think.
Oh, you're right. It is Kabutops in own right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kabutops is
Kabutops is way cooler. I think Kabutops is one of the coolest designs of... Oh, bye, Coolbird.
He's not cool enough.
I fucked up. Of first gen, for sure. Definitely. I think Kabutops is a really cool design.
I'm with you there. Him and Scyther are in the same boat for like the same kind of aesthetic.
Are you just really into Pokemon with sharp things?
For arms, yeah.
Sharp things for arms. Are you a fan of Bisharp too? Or Bisharp?
Bisharp's alright. And then I just realized that Jacob Norman Chainsaw Arm could be done like a scissor, like a Scyther.
Oh, that would be cool. Wow, this Jigglypuff's got a lot of experience. Voltorb, what is up with this dude? This guy's got some weird Pokemon. I'm gonna keep you in, and then we're gonna swap you out so you can get another level, maybe.
Nice.
Grass is not good on electric, but electric is not effective on grass. But it doesn't matter, because all I know is tackle. I always forget that. I'm bad with my type matches. As much as I've played Pokemon to death, I still cannot remember some type matchups for the death of me.
I'm pretty good at that stuff. Playing competitive helps with that.
Totally.
There's a couple of weird ones, like flying is super effective against grass.
I know that one. That one makes sense. I think of like a tornado. Think of like a tornado fucking up a tree. That's how I remember that one.
Okay. My favorite, do you do the two birds, one stone?
No.
Chance popping, best Pokemon? Not best, but I love it. Oh, so Rock is super effective against birds for flying type fights.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Two birds, one stone.
That just makes sense to me. I don't know why that one makes sense to me, but it just does. Ooh.
I guess like compared to ground, like of course ground doesn't work, but you could like throw a rock.
Shit. Now I'm poisoned. Poison is pretty debilitating in this gen. I remember how sad I would be walking around and having that white screen flicker.
Yeah.
That isn't a thing anymore, thank God. I hope Bulbasaur doesn't get poisoned. I bought an antidote, but I don't know if it's worth using right now. I think I'm pretty close to the exit if I'm going to be getting the fossil right now.
That's true, you probably are super close.
I still don't know which one to pick.
It sounds like you picked the Weetops already in your head.
I mean, yeah, but I've done Kabutops runs before. That's the thing. It's like, is that really what I want to do?
Well, how much do you like Twitch plays Pokemon?
I thought it was fun. I followed it for a little while.
I followed it, yeah. It kind of figured it out to obscurity, which is a little bit of a bummer, but like, it was good.
I think it's...
end it here if you want an interesting thing, so you could do like a cliffhanger.
That's true.
Next time.
That's not a bad decision. Oh, there's that. There's that poison right there. That's not fun. All right, so I guess we'll end it right here, and then whoever I have on next time, will pick it for me. I'm gonna do that. I think that's a good. It's gonna be like, welcome to this thing that I'm doing. Make this really important decision right now.
You should try to get Stuffy next.
I think it probably will be. It'll either be Stuffy or Joe wants to do one too. There's a few people I have in mind, but I'll have you back real soon. This might even be cut into 3 episodes. I don't even know, man. This is a lot of content right here. Maybe I should just post a 2.5-hour chunk. That might be interesting too. Anyways, people don't want to hear about this, but Jacob, I really appreciate you, coming on and doing this. This has been...
Thank you. It was awesome to finally talk to you on not a text-based form of communication.
Yes. Yeah, you too. You seem like a really cool dude, really nice guy. I appreciate all the content, everything that you've put into this conversation felt really genuine. I mean, like, I look at Pokemon as like something that is important to me, and I like bonding over that with people. I think that's really important, and I think our adventure's off to a great start. So why don't we just do a little recap of of who we got going on here? We got Bulbasaur the Ivysaur, level 20.
No, it's Bulbasaur the Ivysaur.
Yeah, Bulbasaur the Ivysaur. Yeah. It knows these moves. I don't know how to do this recap. This is kind of weird. Are we putting too much effort into this?
Look at the attack sound on the Jigglypuff. That's the main thing.
Was that pretty good?
When you get pound, or you have pound.
He already has pound. Jigglypuff's weird. This is a weird sprite. Jigglypuff looks like he's on like a little acid trip or something. And he's got some like Fonzie hair going on too.
Hey.
Hey. It almost looks like something from like Final Fantasy. Are you getting that same vibe? Like
I'm not that in Final Fantasy. The other RPG I was obsessed with as a kid was Golden Sun. I don't know if you know that one.
I don't. Yeah, RPGs are kind of hit and miss in my opinion. Anyways, that's another conversation. We'll save that for next time. And then we also got Cool Bird. Question mark?
No, that's a good attack stat.
Cool Bird, that is, yeah, and the speed too. This might be our sweeper later on when we get like Drill Peck or some shit.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty fancy. Currently the moves suck, but I really like where this team is going so far.
Yeah.
You know, Venusaur, Wigglytuff, and a Fearow. Those are some pretty... I mean, we got some bulk on this end, which is cool, and then we got some good attack over here, so... I don't know where this adventure is going to lead us. Everyone who's watching this video, there's going to be links in the descriptions for all of Jacob's Music's projects, plural. That was a mouthful. Be sure to check out, you know, Song for Every Pokemon if you're listening to this for the Pokemon stuff. Also check out A Song for Every Pokemon if you're here for the music stuff. That is the one thing that will be talked about in this entire walkthrough, playthrough, whatever it is. Let's Play, I guess, is the right name for it. That applies to both Pokemon and music. I almost want to call this like Punkémon. Is that stupid? Is that a cool name for this series?
It's like okay.
It's like mediocre. I was thinking about it.
It's really funny. It's almost funnier because it's stupider if you're like folk Punkémon.
Folk Punkémon. Second wave folk Punkémon. How about that?
Are you second wave?
I don't even know. I don't know the waves. The waves are... I guess so.
That's a conversation for another...
That is, yeah. We'll have to talk to some more people about that. Get some more opinions first. Well, this is where we're stopping. Again, thank you, Jacob. You've successfully survived about 3 hours of Pokemon. You're great, too. And, yeah. I bid you all adieu. Do you have any parting words for the good people out there that actually watch this?
I just need to cut it off after the last, like, goodbye. So I'm assuming this part would just be us talking.
I mean, I'll cut it off when I want to cut it off.
Hey, well then,
that was the part right there. No, that was it. Fuck that dude. I'm not even gonna deal with that right now.